What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Janelle. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a city that can be considered underrated. If you look it up on Google, some even call it boring. We're going to Brussels, Belgium. First, let's talk about the requirements to enter Belgium. You're going to need to have a passport. If you're a US citizen, make sure that it has at least 6 months validity. I do want to quickly talk about the Schengen Borders Agreement, which allows you to freely travel throughout the countries in Europe. The agreement includes most countries except Ireland and Cyprus. For up to 90 days, you have ease of travel throughout the countries in Europe. Isn't that amazing? You also are going to have to complete the ETIAS form. This is the electronic travel authorization. You can take the Brussels Express to get to the city center from the airport. What I did, I was already in the Netherlands. I took the train from Amsterdam straight to Brussels. I would say that this city is underrated. There's so much to do, and it is a great transit city. I'll talk more about this in the transportation section. If you're flying into the airport, when you land, you might want to exchange a few of your US dollars to the European currency to get the euros. And then when you reach the city center, you can exchange the rest of your money. Usually at the airport, y'all know that I've told you before that those rates are not good. They know that the tourists, it's high demand for them to exchange. Only do a few dollars for you to get to the city center and then look for the ATMs when you're in central Brussels. As I said, I took the Flixbus from Amsterdam to Brussels. It was only 13 euros. You cannot beat these prices of traveling throughout Europe, whether it's the train, the bus, even if you wanted to fly further down, like to go to different countries, Brussels is going to be your transit destination. And you might as well just spend some time for a couple of days, check it out, and then move on to your final stop. Where to stay? The hostels in Europe are absolutely fantastic. It is very difficult for me to review hostels anywhere else in the world because the ones in Europe have such a high standard. I'm going to give you 3 choices for you to pick from. One is going to be the top. I recommend that you go here. It has over 19,000. Can you imagine reviews? 19,000 people were satisfied at this hostel. The name of it is Meininger. There are a couple of the locations in Brussels. I was at the one that was located in central Brussels. And what's good with the Meininger brand, they offer a hotel hostel hybrid. These have been the best hostel rooms that I have seen in all of my travels. Located near the canal, you can find a bed, you have the dorm beds, from 30 euros a night. That is a great deal. An advantage of staying at hostels are going to be the location. Usually you're going to be right in the center of town near all of the attractions, the restaurants, the pubs, anything you can think of. You want to be in the city center. You should have friendly younger staff that can direct you where you need to go. Another plus is going to be the facilities. If you're in a good hostel, you are going to really live it up and enjoy the facilities there. A lot of them have washing machines for you to clean your clothes if you had a long day outside. Some people don't like traveling with dirty clothes, so it's an advantage for you to wash. They have the facilities at the hostel. Another plus, these are usually near public transportation, so it's easy for you to get from point A to point B. Here are a couple of other hostels that I'm going to recommend. I looked these up on hostelworld.com. We have La Troupe Grand Place. This is similar to Meininger in that you can get a dorm room for a reasonable price, and you can also opt to get a private room. The private rooms are going to run you about 100 euros a night. Those are significantly higher because you are paying for the privacy. And the last one I recommend is the Sleep Well Youth Hostel. While I was at my hostel in the Meininger, I was able to meet and talk to 2 girls from America, from my country, USA. They were very friendly. I believe that they were living in Paris at the time. They were doing their master's program. I like to say that I force myself, to be social. Sometimes I want to just curl in my bed, lie down, and block out the world and just talk to you guys on my phone. But it is good to at least say hello to the guests that you're going to be spending, the next couple of days with, at least the room space. They were very kind. They offered for me, extended an invite for me to go out with them. I declined. I really wasn't feeling going out on this trip. I was just tired. I got so confused in Brussels, but More on that later. And they gave me tips on things that they were doing. They were like, oh man, instead of coming from Amsterdam, you should just go to Paris because the train ride is just so short and it's easy travel. Yes, those people were very friendly. With hostels, I know I mentioned a youth hostel. Sometimes you can think, oh man, I don't fit in, I'm 40 plus, I'm here with these young kids. And it's really not like that. The type of traveler that I've seen at hostels is a pretty similar mindset. So it really doesn't matter about the age. Now, if you're at a party hostel, that's different. The vibes here were travelers who are on a budget, and I really like that type of traveler. You see families there. I do know that some people were complaining that there were children. I was not there that long. This was a quick 1-2 day trip. I don't remember children, to be honest. But if that's not your thing, you can still opt for a private room or look elsewhere. If you're enjoying this video, go ahead and like it so that I know. Be sure to subscribe so that you do not miss out on any future travel guides. When it comes to things to do, Brussels does not disappoint. Europe is one of the best continents for you to explore as a solo traveler, as a woman, if you're traveling on a budget. They offer free walking tours, and not just in Brussels, you guys. This company offers tours all around Europe. You can look up Sandeman's New Europe here, and you're going to see that they have the free walking tours. It started at the Grand Place and it ended at the Royal Palace. And then we ventured out. It was about 3 hours, and we were able to see the major tourist attractions. The guide did a great job of explaining to us. He gave us history about each attraction, gave us enough time for us to take pictures. He even took pictures of some of the tourists who asked for it. We ended at the palace, which was very nice because it was just surrounded by all this beautiful gardens, and I relaxed there a lot. I think he went at a great pace. Sometimes the tour guides, it's just boom, 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 boom. I'm going as fast as I can because I just want to collect these euros from y'all. Remember, if it is a free walking tour, it's really not free. You do need to give a donation in tips based on how you think the tour went. I would recommend 10, 20 euros. Some people give more. It's depending on what's in your pockets. You probably didn't know that Brussels is the comic book capital of the world. You're going to see Tintin all over the place. I love to see the artwork there. I found it very interesting. It was hard for me to focus on the tour guide because I was just distracted by all of the comic strips on the buildings. That was really cool to experience. Something that I wished I was able to see was the atomium. This is going to be a gorgeous structure, and if you are able to ascend to the top, you're going to be able to see great views of the city. There are historical exhibits. You definitely want to check out the atomium. I'm sorry that I missed it. There's also the Gallery Royale. They have botanic gardens. They even have the mannequin, I think it's called the mannequin piss, of the little boy, who's peeing. This is an underwhelming attraction, at least to me. When I saw it, I was very underwhelmed. I was like, everybody's standing in line to take pictures of this. It's so small, but it's an attraction. I'm not going to say skip it because this is your trip. You can see what you want. Shopping in Europe, thrift shopping, vintage shopping is something that I enjoy. I was able to do this in Brussels. The name of the thrift shop was the Melting Pot Kilo. When I looked on Google, you guys, it says that it is temporarily closed. I am sorry about that. I had a great experience there thanks to the girls who were in the hostel. They told me about it. I was actually looking throughout their shopping hall to see, the things that they had. One girl had a really cute dress. I was like, oh, where did you get that from? And she said, oh man, you need to hit up Melting Pot. Hopefully they will be able to open again soon. It is a really nice place where you just put all the clothes and you pay by the kilo. Thrift shopping is something that I enjoy throughout all of Europe. Italy, Eastern Europe, I did it in Bulgaria, and now I did it in Belgium. I don't have anything to show you as far as the haul goes. I don't remember what I purchased there. Shop in Europe. I like the fashion. Brussels has a lot for you to do and see. It is such a small city. You can see all of the major sites and then venture out to the other cities in Belgium. You could go to Ghent, Bruges, there is Antwerp. I hope I am pronouncing those correctly. Brussels is the perfect place for you to take a trip from. You can start at one of the many train stations that they have. The main one is going to be the northern and the central train stations. There's so many. I don't know if it's 30, 40 Belgians. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. They have a fantastic transit system. You can travel more and explore Northern Europe. I was only in Brussels for a couple of days, so I am going to have to go back and explore more of Belgium. If you want to go outside of the country, of course, you might as well go to France. It is right there. I think it takes, 2 hours to get to Paris on the train? Come on, guys. You could get cheap flights. There's cheap train tickets. There are cheap bus tickets. Look up Flixbus. The options are endless, you guys. As far as the train station, I know for Brussels North and Brussels Central, I was mad confusion when I arrived from Amsterdam because the signs were bilingual in the languages of Flemish and French. I am not fluent in either. I don't recognize any of those signs. I was stuck at that train station for a long time. I didn't really feel comfortable asking anybody for help. I didn't understand how to use the metro or to connect to the city center. Sometimes I am directionally challenged, sometimes, a lot of times, and I was mad, lost, and confused on how to get to Manger Hostel. I finally figured it out. Be aware, I do not remember that they had an app. Like in Amsterdam, they had the app for the metro, for the train, that really made it easy for you to navigate, move around. And of course, they had signs in English. In Brussels, your girl was lost. If you are comfortable, you might want to just ask some tourists, maybe learn some French or Dutch phrases for you that would be helpful. Where is the train station? How do I purchase a ticket? So on and so forth. So you don't waste time. But usually after the first couple hours, I'm telling y'all, I was there too long. You kind of start to get a hang of it. And I guess if you're taking a walking tour, you can ask the tour guide. He or she can give you tips on how to move around the city too. I know people who fly to countries in Africa from Belgium because they can get really good deals. Brussels is a good transit city. How to get around Brussels? You can walk. Of course, you can take the train. There's the metro. They have buses and trams. There are so many different ways for you to get around and exercise by walking. Walking around the beautiful gardens that they have there is amazing. I walked from restaurants to different parks that they had and just people watched. You can also explore the hipster district. They have the red light district. Y'all know I came from Amsterdam. If you're interested in tips on how to navigate Amsterdam, go ahead and click the link here for more information. One major highlight of visiting Brussels was the food. I was pleasantly surprised by the options that they have. Come to find out, Brussels is an international city. I hit the jackpot. I love international cities because it means the food is going to be excellent. First, let me talk to you about Belgian food. Belgium is known for chocolate fries and beer. As a vegetarian, I'm not really going to be eating the major dishes like the mussels and the Belgian fries. I did try the Belgian fries, but here's a tip. You might not know that the Belgian fries are double fried, and they're not double fried in plant-based oil. Actually, a lot of places where I eat, I don't even check to be like, hey guys, are your fries fried in plant-based oil? Like, who thinks of that? However, in Belgium, they do have a restaurant where you can get your fries that are specifically made in plant-based oil. I know some vegans and vegetarians are very serious about this. Me, I wasn't gonna miss out on those fries. Like, Belgian fries are top tier. If you want to get the plant-based oil fries, go to Fries and More. Of course, you have to try the Belgian waffle. They also have the liege waffle. Delicious. There are 2,000, we're talking about the number of chocolatiers in the country of Belgium. If you are a chocolate lover, this is the place for you. Back to the restaurants that I went to. The first one was an Ethiopian restaurant. It was savory. It was delicious. The name of it was Tukul. When you go to these Ethiopian spots, they offer the platters, with the injera, but it's usually for two people. Since I was there for one, I was like, it's my first time visiting Brussels. I am not leaving without a veggie platter or injera. I don't care if it's for two people. If you've been to Ethiopian restaurants, I don't know, sometimes they're very strict about this. We were able to get the cost down, and he said, you know what? Since you're here, I can just make it for one. Shout out to the waiter, the chef, who accommodated my single needs. On that platter, you're going to taste small portions of lentils. There's spiced vegetables, cabbage, On this plate here, it has mushrooms. Usually I don't like mushrooms because it's a fungus. There was greens on there. I feel like they should double the portions because it's a vegetarian plate, yeah? And you eat it with the injera. You want to be mindful of the injera because it can really fill your belly quick. Eat it with your hands. I am left-handed, and it is not advised to eat with the left hand. I know you're seeing me on the camera. You want to do this with your right hand. So I kind of just observe other people. If they can sense that you are from the US and you're not really down with all that, they will offer you cutlery. But it's nice to just blend in like you are at an Ethiopian restaurant, and you just scoop up the veg with the injera. It was highly delightful. I think it was overpriced. For me to be able to find authentic Ethiopian food in Brussels was delightful. The next place I went to was Alibaba. I've been to Lebanon, and the food here was excellent. I really think that you should support the Middle Eastern restaurants. I mean, there's so much a variety. Of course, you do want to try the Belgian food. And if you want to try these veganized Belgian dishes, I'm going to recommend that you go to the Judgy Vegan. I like the name of that. I went to a vegan waffle joint. I can't remember, y'all tell me from this picture, was this the liege waffle? I know one waffle is not to be eaten with toppings, and then the Belgian waffle does have the toppings. I'm not sure. And then I went to the non-vegan one. This one had a long line outside of the door. I went there right after the Ethiopian restaurant, and it's called Gaston. Once you get in, you tell them what type of waffle that you want. I'm going to recommend the liege. Mine, of course, it had the powdered sugar and the chocolate. The chocolate is served hot, and it is so good. It melts in your mouth. I love the sweets, y'all. Like, Belgium is hitting. It would be nice to go to Judgy Vegan. I did not, but it would be nice to go in the future and see what Belgian dishes they have for plant-based eaters. I would recommend that you come to Brussels just to eat. I think you will have your belly full and you are going to enjoy the cuisine there. Maybe study a little bit of Flemish, which is the Dutch, or the French. They do have people who are fluent in English. A lot of Europeans, they speak multiple languages. I was confused in Brussels a lot. I did not do my due diligence of studying the languages there because I was there for a short time. I do think that Brussels is underrated. There's so many other cities that people, want to visit first when you think of Europe. But I think you should add this one to your list. What you're going to find out is, at least for me, I love travel. So there really isn't going to be a destination where I'm like, I hated it. It was boring. It was this. I'm like, I'm going to go see the major sites. If it has good food, I'm already thinking of it as a great destination because I'm a foodie. Whether you were doing a walking tour, eating the cuisine, meeting people, hanging out with them, or just chilling at the hostel and saving money by cooking in your hostel kitchen, I think Brussels is going to be a good spot for you. Avoid the dodgy areas. Be a smart traveler. By this time, I would hope that you would have already traveled extensively throughout Europe. So Brussels is going to be a breeze. Is Brussels boring? Not to me. I am well traveled, and I'm going to find an activity, a restaurant. I was about to say a man. I'll just say good company to keep me entertained while I am visiting. Shopping. There's so many things that you can do. Just sitting and relaxing, going to spas, there's museums. This is what is great about travel, especially doing it by yourself. You get to select the things that you want to do. I want to give a shout out to my family who watches my videos and supports the channel. Thank you to all of my cousins. I really appreciate you all. Of course, big thanks to my subs. There would be no channel without you all. And thank you to the new viewers. Welcome. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to see you next week.